Well, hello there. I am the two-time, the Boxed Award-winning the Boxed. And I feel like I haven't been here the first few days. So maybe someone should cover the third day. Now, maybe we should cross universes and ask who that should be.
Naboxid, I choose you!
Well, there you go. I am the two-time Naboxid Award-winning Naboxid, folks. And I am here for the last day of FanExpo because I had to work the other 2 days. Nevertheless, I am intent on finally giving you guys a live video, like an in-person video, for the first time since Christmas. So, of course, let's look around. Let's see what we can find around here.
Hi there, my name is Alan Corbet. I'm with Brick Can and the Vancouver Lego Club. We've got a show coming up for Brick Can on April 22nd and 23rd. You buy tickets through Ticketmaster. It's about the price of a movie ticket. You get 2 hours to come and see about 10,000 square feet of Lego displays and vendors. We also have another show coming up at the Museum of Surrey. You can see that in October. On the October 17th to March 31st, Lego displays in their temporary exhibit. Hope to see you there.
We have a show coming up in April in Richmond. Okay.
I think so. With the exception of this bad boy, will
find out the attendance first.
Yeah, I know. We felt like to let us know ASAP because the tickets are almost sold out.
I did, I said today. So let me know today.
Okay.
When we get to your place.
Yeah.
I don't think she'll want it.
No.
I'll go ahead.
Hey everybody, my name's Catherine Jones. I am a CG supervisor currently, although I wasn't always. I've worked on mostly live action and then moved into animated features recently. The best way to describe what my job is, because it's somewhat abstract, is I'm responsible for the final imagery of a given sequence in a film. So when Miles Morales walks out of his house and he's going on the way to school, that's one sequence. The moment he walks into the school, might be a different supervisor, as an example. I also like to think of myself as somebody who, puts together the different pieces from all the beautiful work from different departments. The VFX department, the effects departments do the smoke and fire. It's my job to make sure that gets integrated properly in the final images. So remember in the 90s, those giant foam puzzles, if you're old enough to remember those, where they were 3D abstract puzzles and you had to fit everything perfectly? That's kind of what my job is. I primarily have a team of lighting and compositing artists, and I do work directly with the client at times just to make sure their vision is seen. But that's my job. Sophia.
Hello. My name is Sophia Grigorova, and I'm okay. I was speaking up. And I'm a supervising animator at Sony. It's my first project as a supervising animator. Before I was an animator, and I started my career in Russia. So my past and experience was a bit different from the rest of people who started in different countries. And as a supervising animator, what my job is to help animators and creating libraries to have characters consistent and to figure out how move characters, what are the style, what is the best look for the character, and that's what we do.
Emmy. Hi, I'm Emmy or Mary Elise, they them pronouns. I'm a pipeline technical director, which sounds fancy, but is basically software development, and I build tools for the artists to use. And sometimes those tools break, and so I'm the one who's going to fix them, or something just is going wrong. We're not sure why. I'm the person that they go to, and I spend 4 hours realizing that you just had to turn it on and off again. But yeah, that's pretty much what pipeline is, though occasionally I do layout on VFX, which is kind of cinematography. You are able to create the scene, create the cameras, and then the animators and lighters go and do all the amazing stuff with it.
Steph. Hello, my name's Stephanie Molk. I am an effects lead, pronouns are she, her. My job description, whereas an animator might make a character run through a building, I would do the destruction, the explosions. They're probably the effects that you see and you recognize within films, but we also do a lot more. We do some smaller effects, such as wind through trees, dust, debris, water. It's a very big, wide range, and we like to liaise, of course, with all the other departments to put all these things together to create the shots that you see in a film. Oh yeah.
Hello, my name is Leah McDonough. I'm a production coordinator. I've worked in production for about 5 years now. You can see, compared with everyone else, I've only worked on 2 films. That's because I've been from the current film I'm on, I've been on for 3 years. It takes a long time. And yeah, production, we generally are there just to support the artists for anything they need. We help with all the communications in between each department. My specific role right now is a lot of managing the show calendar and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's production.
Awesome, thank you. So basically, it's spinning on me. So basically, this is a small group of the wide variety of jobs that are in VFX. So there's quite a lot. Also a lot of jobs that we haven't shown here. But this does give you an idea that there's more than just animation. No offense. That there's lighting and pipeline and on the production side as well. So there's a great wide variety of jobs out there if this is something that you're interested in. When I started in the industry, I was the only female on my team, and that has been the case multiple times since as well. So one challenge that I personally experienced was finding those female role models that I could look up to as I was developing as an artist and growing my career as well. And as you can see today, I find it so inspiring that we now are starting to see so many more women in professional positions of power within our industry. I'm so proud of you all.
So my path was a little bit different, and same as Leah, I was extremely fortunate not to meet any obstacles, not to meet any gender obstacles on my path. And I was starting my career in 2013. I started to work in Russia, and the company, it's not very representative of what Russia is, but that specific company was 80% of women, and our boss was woman as well, like executive. So we had very, very strong female presence, and they were female in all the departments, like making all the kinds of decisions, and there were pregnant women and with families, and also women who made their choice not to have kids. So when I was starting my career, I was always very encouraged to just go for it, basically. And I had very, very strong role models who were like, just do it. And after some years working there, I wanted more. I wanted to explore career beyond Russia. I wanted to work on the great movies that basically inspired me to come into this industry, and I always wanted to work at Sony and Blue Sky. Sorry, a lot. Like when I saw HT first Hotel Transylvania, I was like, oh my god, this is exactly what I want to do in my life. So since then I started to study study animation more and more and more and more. And at first, like even my colleagues at that studio was saying that, you know, you're crazy, you will never get there. And I was like, no, and I was just saving up money for online school because, well, where can you learn, right? You need to learn to be hired somewhere. You need to show your level. So I was like, okay, I was saving up money, and like after a year, I was like super close, and then crisis like struck in Russia, and money kind of. I was like, okay, half a year more of work, and I finally saved up enough money, went to school for half a year, and my boss was extremely supportive. She was like, yes, go, and if you need anything, we'll just happy to have you as freelancer. So yeah, just call us, we'll give you some work. And after that, I went to school, I got new reel, I grew professionally a lot. Online schools are super cool for anybody who's interested. And they have not only animation, they have big variety of everything. And I got hired to Sony with that reel. So, and that was my way all the way here, and I honestly didn't have any obstacle as a woman. What I did have as an obstacle is self-doubt. I came from very poor, financially poor background. I was raised by a single mother who had 3 kids, so I didn't have access to art classes or even to computer. I started to use computer only when I was 18. Like I couldn't figure out anything really, like that how bad it was. And when I started to work at that studio in Russia, I was 2D animator, and they just closed 2D department, and they said, well, you can stay as a concept designer. And I was like, I've always wanted to do animation, and I just started to learn Maya, like working in Maya. I started to learn Maya right away, so, like as fast as I could, and my lead was amazing. He saw that somebody there wants to know something, and he was just explaining to me. And actually, that amazing thing about our industry that I noticed, that people are so open and want to share. You just need to ask, and every person will tell you everything that they know about the subject. Just ask. So. My lead really helped me a lot and get me up to speed with the program, and I got like test shot, and I got on the feature film after that test. So just don't, like, my biggest challenge was the doubt of other people in me and of myself in me. And my biggest lesson that I learned, and becoming supervisor, I learned it even more, that you have to be tenacious. And you have to speak up. You have to talk for yourself. If you want that test shot to get on that movie, go and ask for it. Beg for it. Like, learn the program if you don't know the program, how to do it. If you want it, you go for it. And that's what I learned from my role models as I was starting. There were those kind of women who were just like, just go. Just do it.
Thank you. So I actually do want to bring up a good point that Catherine and Leah both made about families. I also have 2 children. Both are actually teenagers now. But when I had them, I actually took 6 years off. I was a stay-at-home mom. I decided I'm going to have my kids, and at that time too, I had just left Blue Sky, or no, I had just left Fathom Studios, and I was 6 years into my career, and I was terrified because the software and the technology moves so fast, and I was so scared that if I was going to actually have kids, I was leaving the industry, and I had to make that decision. So that was my thought at the time. But about 5.5 years after my kids were born, and I was really tired of picking up the same toys every day, cooking the same meals every day, I was watching Rio. It was one of my youngest favorite movies. We watched it every day. And I was really, really interested in going back to this industry. And I just thought, you know, I really want to do it again. So I reached out to some of my old coworkers who were now at Blue Sky. And really, I would say that if you know the art, if you're going into the art part, and maybe Emmy can kind of talk more about the tech side, but if you're an artist, as long as you know your art basics, like for instance, I'm a lighter, so I know how to light, I know what makes things look good, I know what makes characters look good. A lot of times the software will be taught to you. When I moved from Blue Sky, because Blue Sky uses their, or used to use their own proprietary software. So even if I had come from a different company anyway, I would have had to relearn the software. And when I got to Sony, right after Blue Sky, I had to relearn Katana. I had to relearn the software because they were using something different anyway. So as long as you have the basics down, then the software is easy. So, but yeah, I was terrified, but I did it, you know, so I had a different experience for sure.
I'm just going to jump in because I'm sharing a lot of the same kind of themes, which is it's all about creative collaboration. The most incredible artwork that any of us can make is art we made together. When I first started this industry, it was crazy competitive, and all my classmates wanted to take each other down because they would get the job if they stood out. But the way I got my very first job, which was La Vaca, a Guatemalan independent film about someone falling in love with a cow, was because I was nice to someone and I treated them with respect and I helped them when they were struggling, and they helped me. And then I got my next gig, which was Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black, and I thought, this is it, I've made it. And I made that through a connection, somebody I went to school with that I was nice to and I treated with respect and they helped me out. And now I'm in a position where I get to do that same thing for people that are collaborative, because that's what makes these incredible movies. It's never one voice. It's all of our voices together. It's us sharing what we're strong at and knowing what we're not. And just like they were saying, it's asking for help and knowing it's okay to not know everything. So creative collaboration for the win. And I'm going to put a nerdy analogy out there. If you are a D&D player and you go with a balanced party into a dragon slayer, you're going to kill the dragon. If you're one super OP player and you go in there, your armor is going to be fodder for the party that comes in and kills the dragon later.
I will say that Catherine's the one that got me into the lead position. She's the one who pushed me.
So advice for anybody who is interested in going into production for animation. This is usually what I tell to anyone who is interested is I would recommend starting as a production assistant. There's so many different animation companies just right here in Vancouver. And being a production assistant is like the perfect entry-level job if you're interested in animation and you don't know that much about it. My background is actually live theater and production and management. So when I started as a PA 5 years ago, I really knew like nothing. But this job really allows you just to talk to so many people and to learn animation from the ground up, and it is really what you make of it. And then from being a production assistant, you can easily go around the path to becoming a production coordinator or higher up in production. I know a couple of PAs, one who actually became a storyboard artist because that's what they love to do, and the PA was their way to get into the industry. And I know another friend who was started as a PA and then became a layout artist because that was the department they were helping out with, and they're like, oh, this is really cool, and the lead there taught them how to do it. So for anyone interested, and, you know, usually we're just looking for people who are enthusiastic, willing to learn, you know, take initiative is what we really look for a production assistant. And you know, it's a great way of being like, hey, how do I learn animation? Let me try this out. Is this something I'm interested in? That would be the best place to start.
Kind of building off of that point, you just kind of have to roll with things. And I mean, I graduated with a computer science degree. The project that I had worked on in college was building software for testing like memory games and things like that for like medical studies, and it's nothing to do with animation. And I was like, but I really like movies. And there was an alumni at my school who worked at DreamWorks, and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of interested in this. And then after DreamWorks got bought out, and then I lost my job because they're like, yeah, we're not going to do your project for another 5 years. And then I met someone at a Pride event that was like, hey, I work at Sony, and we're definitely looking for more tech people. And I'm like, okay, I'll send a resume and stuff. And like, you willing to go to Canada? Yes, I am. I am from the United States. And I just sort of went with it, and even though I didn't really know a lot of stuff going into it, it just happens, and it's really fun when it's like completely unexpected. I was told one day that I was going to be working on Spider-Man Far From Home, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to be a pipeline on that. And I walk in Monday morning and I have this email. Hi, welcome to layout. Here's your shots. I had never done layout. Yeah, I'm kind of an artsy person, but that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this? And it was not a mistake, apparently, and I fell in love with it. And so now, between pipeline projects, if there's a VFX thing, it's like, hey, we need someone on layout for a month or two. I'm like, absolutely. And if I had stayed in sort of that rigid computer science, software engineering background, I would have never had that opportunity. I'd never been able to fall in love with these other departments and these other opportunities.
Technically, I'd say I'm most proud of the projects where we push the boundaries. We push the boundaries of animation, we push the boundaries of style, lighting, look. It is a pleasure to work in an industry that you get to be creative like that every single day. And then on a personal level, growing into a role where I can hopefully inspire other people as well to do the job that I'm doing, to get into this industry and to enjoy it as much as I think we all do. I would definitely say the moment I've been the most proud in animation was when I finished my very first movie and I saw my name in the credits. Because it was so cool. Like, you grew up loving movies and like you see all the people in there and you're like, wow, I'm in there, I did a thing. So I think that was probably my most proud moment.
My mom still takes pictures of the credits and will post it on Facebook. Look, that's my daughter. I'm almost 50. She's doing that.
It's great until they spell your name wrong.
So this is a really tricky question for me because I think what I'm most proud of has evolved so much over the last 10 years. I remember the moment my name was first in credits and it was a part of like 100 names and we had to stop the movie and go, there it is! And then I remember when I was in the DI house with the directors and the producers and myself and I saw my name in the main credits and I cried behind my stereo glasses because I was a stereo supervisor and I had a big name this time. And then I remember the day on Mitchell's vs. the Machines when they said, we're not doing stereo anymore, but don't worry, we're going to put you in a different role. And I thought, this is the end of my career. And instead I got offered and challenged to be a CG supervisor, which is a promotion from what I was doing, by the way. And so I wanted to say what I'm most proud of is the moments in my life where I thought everything was gone and all hope was lost, and I still continued. And I can look back on those moments. And this, being on a panel full of inspiring people, this is a moment I'm going to be most proud of because we are fortunate enough to be on the forefront of changing what the face of animation really looks like and how diverse it can be. And like Stephanie said at the beginning, this is a small portion of the diversity that we have. And the more that people speak up and the more you can see it, the more we can change things and bring an independent voice to all of our movies.
Once again, they have the Jurassic Park Jeep here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, my autograph for this FanExpo. Pulled out the loot crate bit that they sent me of God of War, and I'm in line for Nolan North. Okay, so after about a 30 to 40 minute wait, finally got my autograph from Nolan North. Yeah, got this was from one of my loot crate boxes. If you remember back when I was doing that, and seems like a pretty chill guy. We spoke for about maybe 45 seconds. You know, there was still a lineup behind me. I didn't want to keep anyone after I had waited for so long. So yeah, now I'm going to continue looking around and see if I can find anything else interesting.
Hi, I'm Alan Stanley. This is Larry Stanley. And we have graphic novels here at the Vancouver Fan Expo. We have two series. One is USNA, which is the story of a time in the future when Canada and the United States have amalgamated to a new country called the United States of North America. And this is the story of the Canadians who are unhappy with the new union, who are rebelling. And so that's USNA. And then we also have another series called Caretakers. Caretakers is a comedy about four teenagers who are looking for their missing baby sister in a haunted mansion. There's two criminals named Miles and Davis who have kidnapped the young kid, and the teenagers go to the haunted mansion to try to find their sister, and the three ghosts help them save the day. So we have two series here. We're Vancouver writers, Vancouver and Alberta-based artists, and we are self-published. We are all Canadian.
Oh boy, do I have a story. So I will admit, when you have ADHD, you have rejection syndrome issues, so I don't take rejections really well. But in this particular case, I think I handled it really well for what was said. So this was very early on in my career. It was my very first San Diego Comic-Con. I was 21 years old. I had my giant portfolio with me. I did sample pages for like 3 different companies. I was so excited to get critique and see if I could get work. I'm not going to mention this company, but there was one particular company that had a sample out, and I did their 6-page sample, and honestly guys, it had its issues, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. And the editor is going through my portfolio going, okay, I'm so sorry, but yeah, you're never gonna make it in this industry. You should really give up now. And guys, I'm not even joking, that was exactly what was said. And I closed my portfolio. I said, thank you so much for your time, because I'm a good, polite Canadian. I was out of ears range, and guys, I don't remember the last time I swore that much in one place, but I was like, are editors allowed to say that to someone? Like, I was just shocked. And mind you, I then went and had a portfolio review at Marvel, and Marvel, the editors, well, you have to work on your anatomy. I could tell you have perspective issues here, but I could see a lot of potential. Here's my business card. Black and white. Totally different scenario. So sometimes people have an opinion of your work. That's an opinion. That's not a criticism. And there is a difference. So sometimes people might say things very harsh. Please take it with a grain of salt and believe in your own worth. And you will get people that will give you proper critique to how to move forward. And it did, I mentioned on my schedule, it took me about 8 years to get hired at DC. Do you think the years they rejected me and gave me a portfolio, I handled it well? No, I cried a few times because I really wanted to work for DC. But I was not ready, and that was the truth. I wasn't ready to get hired by them. So I took their critique, I did what they told me, I worked on my anatomy, I worked on my perspective. 8 years later, an opportunity came up with DC Superhero Girls, and I finally worked for DC.
Yeah. So, writing kids' books today is like, when I was a kid, the motives and everything was different back then than they are now. So writing kids' books today with your experience being younger back then, with all the technology changes and influencers and YouTube and everything else like that, how difficult do you find it difficult taking what you grew up on, reading as kids and taking it as kids, and translating that into something kids today are going to understand, since we didn't have that kind of pulp culture and influences jammed down our throats at that point like they do now. So how do you find anything kind of difficult with that?
I mean, for me personally, I feel like if you are very concerned with portraying the technology we currently have or the social media we currently have, I feel like that immediately will date the book to like 2020 or 2015 or whatever. So I honestly don't try and make a book modern. Like obviously, you know, like I did a book called Ride On that was, you know, 12-year-old kids set in modern day, but it's like I didn't include things like modern social media, but they had phones, right? Of course, because you know every 12-year-old has a phone. And then you know, like the kids were obsessed with an old TV show that was it's a very thinly disguised version of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which I was super into when I was 12. But yeah, I just find that can really date a book if you really focus on technology. Like I think there's a place for it if there is maybe someone who has experience as an influencer to write a graphic novel about that experience, but that's not personally my experience. So I'm more interested in universal emotional themes, friendship, rather than specifically nailing what the current technology is.
Technology can date a book, but like when I was a kid, other than Archie comics, there were no kids comics. I read X-Men. So it's really cool that there are kids comics now, and the fact that we could do so many different genres. We could do futuristic stories, we could do space stories, we could do any genre we want. But it's really interesting because even now I find that a lot of them don't, like, as Kate mentioned, don't have very specific technology, because that can really date a book. Either unless you really want it, but now we have options. We can write about anything, so we can have a lot of fun with it. And kids are so lucky now to have all these comics available to them, and I even read them because they're so good. That's the cool thing about a lot of kids' comics. They really are for all ages, because I have parents come up and be like, "Man, I love reading this with the kids," and that's a good sign of a good book.
Oh, hello. Yeah, my name is Nathan Fairbairn, and I make comics. At the moment, I'm working on a series of books for kids, and the series is called Pause, and it's from Penguin Random House. And the second book just came out, and we just finished the third book, and it's in wherever you can buy books. You can buy this book.
Hi, my name is John Anderson. I'm the publisher of Soaring Penguin Press. We're a London-based publishing company, although I live in Burnaby. We publish graphic novels, graphic anthologies, and a sort of wide range of varieties of themes and topics and genres. I can be found at soaringpenguinpress.com. You can come and see the various titles. You can order online, or you can wait till I come to one of the various shows. Obviously FanEx, but there's also VanCaf, the Calgary FanEx, if we get in, and the Vancouver Comic and Toy Show. We'll have a table there as well, and you can come see the wares, take a look at the books. If there's something there you like, I'd be happy to sell it to you.
Everybody had a great show so far this weekend? Yes. It's been an awesome crowd the entire weekend. This is amazing to have this many people out for sketch battles and for this show in general. So nice to see. So, our two lovely contestants today.
Lovely is right.
We got Eric Vetter and Marcus Toe.
Hey everyone, hope you're having a good time.
So you guys are both with Raid Studios.
Yeah.
Both out of Ontario?
Yep. I live in Toronto, and I'm in London, Ontario.
So what these guys are going to do, they're going to do just one sketch, but these guys are going to just absolutely kill it. You guys all know that.
Nope.
That's why you're here. Oh, come on. Does anybody have any questions for these guys? Okay, you're going to make me work for this. All right.
Come on, Kevin. Get better at this.
Yeah, I'll ask one. Okay, what would you like to work on?
So what is a dream project for you guys?
Probably work on Battle Chasers. That'd be a...
Work on Battle Chasers?
Yeah.
That's the second time today that title's come up today.
Oh, yeah? Oh, right on, man. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Batman.
Dream project. My own? I've been very lucky in my career. I've been around for a long time that I've kind of knocked off a few of them already. But probably the next one is probably like a full X-Men title. That would be amazing. Spider-Man, you know, I'm pretty standard in that, but I guess the one that is a little bit off is Booster Gold.
Booster Gold, that's going to be a big one coming up here pretty soon with the announcement from James Gunn and their announcement.
Yeah.
So hopefully Dan Jurgens can get a cameo in that, being the creator of Booster Gold.
Yeah, for sure. Dan Jurgens, DeMatteis.
Yep.
Those guys really, that was the era of Booster Gold that I read and I loved, and there's a lot of funny stuff there.
So we're working obviously with pens and paper and pencils here, but how do you guys work in the professional? Are you guys digital? Or you guys go all original for everything I do? Eric, how do you start your off?
Yeah, I'm mostly digital. I work at Digital Extremes on Warframe. I don't know if anyone played Warframe in here. So I do a lot of digital work. And
okay.
Even for our own comic, Arden, for the Raid, I do a lot of digital work.
Yeah.
Very few pencil stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be fully traditional, but nowadays, for speed's sake, I've been really just all digital. Speed-wise, it's the best, I think.
You don't know, an amalgam of do some digital stuff, then transition over to or scan it, and then do it more traditional, so you have something to sell later on?
No, I don't. It's funny because I learned a lot through doing stuff digitally that I'm almost worried that I can't replicate it in physical form anymore. The stuff that I can do on digital, but or at least it takes longer. Like it's a messier process, and you know, a studio mate of ours, Scott Hepburn, does a lot of great stuff, but his desk is always a mess. There's that kind of fun of having your desk being just a nice, clean desk.
I don't know what that's like personally. My personal desk is an absolute disaster. I know where everything is, but it's a disaster. I gotta put it back up there. Anybody have any questions for these guys?
Yeah. What has been your biggest obstacle?
What's been your biggest obstacle so far in your career?
Myself.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. That was the answer.
Always myself, man. All the doubt, the imposter syndrome shit.
So how do you get over that?
You don't.
Okay, Eddie Vedder.
Don't want to brag, but it's my cousin. How do you get over that? Yeah, you just gotta work through it. There's no quick answer. You gotta give yourself a break. And go, okay, it's okay. Just get back to it. It'll be all right. Keep going. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
I've always just told myself I might not be good enough today, but tomorrow I will be.
Oh,
and
I like that. That's a nice positive answer.
Because that's the beauty of doing what we do, because it's with our own two hands. The only way to get better is with your own two hands. So if I draw more today, tomorrow I'll be better.
Tomorrow he'll be better.
Yeah.
So we're coming into just a couple minutes left here, but I'm going to let everyone, most people have been to the sketch battles already for the last all weekend, know about a young lady working in the front row here. She's also been taking the prompts that these artists have been given, and she's been doing her own work as well. Her name's Hannah. She's on Instagram, h.b.originals. I've memorized that now because I've had her up here every time. And she's been nice enough that we show off her work, and if people, I'm pretty sure after whatever she's done, people are going to be quite happy, and she's been willing to auction off hers as well with a draw. So
I like it.
Awesome. You got yours done, Hannah? Do you want to show it off right now while these guys are touching theirs up?
Do it.
Yeah, we need more time.
I'm done, by the way, so I don't want to brag. That's great. Kiss the cook. Well done.
Well done.
Marcus now.
Get one more picture.
Just sign it and show it off.
Have you enjoyed this experience? Not done yet. Not done yet.
Any other questions out there?
Yeah.
What Warhammer army do you play?
What Warhammer army? I played 40k and AOS, so... Oh, look at this. Come on. Let's go.
Oh, now he's not done yet.
Alright. Okay,
Now
you want to be
done.
seen? Hey, round 2! Soulblight, Lumineth, 40k Eldari, all the time, all day. Inari. Anyway.
So before the show's over, these guys are over at the Raid Studios booth there, so come on by, check these guys out.
We have no more stuff to sell. We're sold out. Thank you, Vancouver. But come on by anyway. So.
Hugs are free.
Actually, no, we got Dax's Forest Folk still kicking around.
Oh yeah, Forest Folk, yeah.
Yep.
So let's do the draw for Eric's here first. Woohoo! The last 4 digits are going to be 0361 or 60. Sorry, 0360. Nice.
Hey, right on.
You just want to tear that off for her?
Doesn't she get the whole sketch? I'm just joking.
This is FanExpo. They got to save money.
Don't rip it. Right on.
And for Marcus's drawing, it's 0354. The disappointment.
Hey, Link.
And for Hannah's Swamp Thing, cooking up the bacon, is 0414. Woohoo! Did you get it?
Oh, you got it? Ah, boo. He works out of school.
0414. Nobody here? So next number then for it is 0344.
There it is.
Nice.
There it is.
Right behind you guys. There we are. Well, thank you for coming out, guys. It's been a great show. Hopefully it's a good last couple hours of the show for you. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone.
So, folks, we have hit closing time. I actually don't think I didn't find anything to buy, which is actually probably a good thing for my bank account. So, you guys saw what there was. I'd like to thank the vendors who allowed me to film what they were willing to say, and the panel that let me film with them. So I made sure to talk to them and be like, okay, hey, how do you feel about me posting and all that? Just like something you want to do in good faith. Make sure that you never know, something could happen where it's like, okay, yeah, get this brilliant idea. They don't want to do it because they don't trust you, right? So anyway, thank you to the guys who allowed me to take the footage, and I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much as, say, 2020, but I think it's because a lot of the guys, I noticed a lot of the celebrities were either Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday, or Saturday, Monday, where they had the combination thing going on. And so, whereas the past ones that I was at, 2019, 2020, a lot more of them were there all 3 days, or they were here all 3 days. So that would have probably I feel like that might have made for better content. Unfortunately, sometimes you just don't get what you want. Of course, that was before the pandemic. The last time I was here, this was my first post-pandemic FanExpo, and I had to work 2 of the days. because life sucks sometimes. But I feel like I got what I could here. And I guess that's it, folks. Obviously, I'm always trying to find something else to film, so just stay tuned. And at some point, there will be something else up. I hope you've been enjoying the Skyrim series. I know that there will be more stuff to go up on Skyrim. And until then, folks, I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.